When the invitation came, you were hip deep in Lemur slime, swarmed by hell wasps, and about to drive the killing blow on a magma claw. Cutting through the dreadful buzz of the wasps and the screams of the damned, a familiar, comforting voice echoed in your mind.
何これ
Withers,
すごい服
he
着てるんだけ
requested
ど
your attendance in Faerun to gather with your friends and allies, those who stood against the Absolute at your side. A
パーラ
reprieve
君も
from
ちょ
the
っと大
blood
丈夫
war.
か
A few hours of respite with the stars above and good company to cheer you. Karlach's heart can take the strain of leaving Avernus for a few short hours, but
なる
it
ほどね
might burst with joy to see those friends again.
ちょっとなら大丈夫世紀末みたいな服着てんだけど面白すぎるなあ、ウィルもちょっと違う地獄でねこの3人が世紀末すぎる
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
なるほどああウールベアでかいままじゃんまああれだねまあちょっといきなり倒してすぐ地獄に行くことになっちゃったからみんなの行く先とか知らんもんな普通に野営地だこれ最初の野営地じゃない違うかこんな台なかったもんな特別な場所なんだね
Friend? Friend! You came! Big brother Scratch too! Happy!
かわいい大きくなったけど全然変わんないねシナミが連れてきてくれてよかった全部気になるおーよしよしかわいい
Yes! Miss
あ
this!
かわいい
More!
もうスクラッチより大きくなったねその鎧を着てるからかな
Yes! Big! But Scratch is smart. Teaches me many things. Like Big Brother.
ビッグブラザーシナミが連れてきてくれてよかったシナミんとこにいるの今
Ridders? No!
あー
Smell
嘘かわ
very
いい
delicious. Follow smell, find you.
かわいい一人でいたの
Lots. Make friends with a turtle, a cat, a kraken. Kraken eats my cat friend, so I bite, kill. With shiny clothes, I am strong. Tired now. Want sleep. Want cave.
そうだね多分その鎧着てるせいだねシャドウハルシンシャドウ派はここで休めお前にはその資格があるまあシャドウ派とかどういやシャドウ派ちゃんがいいっていうかわかんないけど
Nice lady.
臭い女
She gives pets and tasty things. I like her. I go to her.
なんでだよシャドウ派ちゃん臭い女呼ばわりされてるんだが
A familiar sight. Scratch
Ah.
can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
いいねもうスクラッチのおもちゃだねこれは
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw?
喜んで。ただそれより先に元気だったか？
Oh, I've been so good. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named
Mindy
Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you and Albert. I've got so many best friends. I hardly know who to play with.
いいなぁ。本当によかっ
I
た。
certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
マジで感動。もうだって、そうだよね。不活性のアストラルプリズムだよね。投げてやろうぜ。あ、一応、何着てんの私。ホットパンツ履いてる。あ、そう、面白いね。最高だね。スクラッチとか言っちゃった。いや。あ、寝てる。超可愛いじゃん。超可愛い。起きた。スクラッチずっと遊んでんの？かわいいね。
There you are.
I must be
Keeping
careful
us
to
all
not
on tenterhooks
overindulge
so you can
tonight,
make a dramatic
lest I
entrance, is
lose
it?
control and slip
え、
into
その服めっちゃ可
bear
愛い。あ、てか、アウルベアいいですか？
Starting to wonder if you'd show up.
可愛い。来ないんじゃないかと思い始めて。あ、私たちが結構遅かった？まあ、ちょっと地獄からは遠いもんね。もちろん、この日を指折り数えて待っていたぐらい楽しみだったよ。
Honestly, so have I. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever. You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it.
いやー、まあ、あれだからさ。多分地獄でめちゃくちゃ鍛えられてんでしょ。皮肉なのかな？よくわかんないや。野営や食料採集が減ったから？ああ、これ多分選択によっては普通に都市で暮らしてる可能性もあるからってことなのかな。まあ、褒め言葉として受け取っておく。お前も元気そうだな。
I suppose I do, don't I? I'm glad you seem well. Truly.
うん、同じ気持ちだよ。話が終わっちゃうか。話さないといけないことがある。お前がやると申し出てしまったことがあって。あはは、そうだね。うん。まあちょっとそれもそうだけど、これ全部聞けるなら上から行こう
I
かな。
had no doubt. But I'm glad to hear you say it all the same.
うん、何してたの？
Wandering, mostly. The adventuring life is almost a tonic when you're not constantly threatened by brain monsters and cultists. I can finally see the world beyond the cloister.
いろいろあったから平穏で静かな時間欲しがってるだろうと思っていた。まあでも、修道院以外の世界を見るために今いろいろやってんだよね。まあどこに行って何を見てどう思ったんだろうね。
One of my first stops was the House of the Moon in Waterdeep. It's the largest temple of Selûne in existence. It seemed like the perfect spot to reflect on my parents, on where they came from. And where I came from too, I suppose. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Me, of all people, in the lair of the Moon Witch herself. God, your truest act of heroism was putting up with all that char and drivel I was spouting for so long.
まあ。 両親は誇りに思うでしょうね。
Oh, I know they are. I can still sense them, I think. And one day we'll be reunited.
いつかね。他には？
Well, I've had run-ins with my former fellow Sharans on a couple of occasions. Word seems to have spread of what happened at the cloister.
なるほど
Now
ね。
other chapters of Shar worshippers see me as a prime target to offer up to their lady as a sacrifice. Don't worry. I know their tired old tricks better than anyone. They'll need more than a hooded
奴
cloak
らの
and
陳腐な
poisoned
手
blade
口
to
なら
best
誰よ
me.
りも知ってると。
Especially when I have a friend on the inside keeping me abreast of their predictable little plans.
ああ、ノクターンね。友達だよね。
None other. The matter of her faith and allegiances remains complicated, let's say.
よかった。
She is still my oldest friend. I have hopes that perhaps she might turn from Shah entirely given time. But that's a decision she will have to make for herself. If that day comes, I'll be ready.
そうだね。まあ、待つことも大事よな。私何してたんだろう。
Must I? I presume a great
めっちゃ
deal.
ね。
I'm joking. Of course I want to know. Tell me all.
何してたの？そうだね。
I'm glad you two have each other. Hells, I'd be almost tempted to come along if you'd have me. Perhaps if your adventures ever lead you out of Avernus
ア
permanently.
ベルヌス以外でって感じ。
Hopefully these meetups will become a
そ
regular
うだ
occurrence.
ね。
It's not that I miss the tadpoles, but at least it brought us together. Now we've got to make the extra effort ourselves.
うん、まあ、現実は2番よな。まあでもね、フィクションだから。
I'm sure we will, but let's be proactive about it all the same. We're more than capable. After all, we've faced down bigger threats than wrangling together a few
予
social
定の調
calendars.
整より大変な危険をくぐってきた。
Don't be a stranger.
あ、もう話せない？ちょっとペットの話していい？ごめんね。
I've missed wine. Had to resort to making my own cider recently, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong. But a girl can't have fun with apples alone.
ああ、まあ、いろいろいけるかな。まあ、話さないといけないことがある。
Is
ごめん
that
ね。
so? And what liberties did you decide to take exactly?
新しい仲間を気に入ってほしいと思ってて、まあ、ちょっと大きくて羽が生えてて、まあ、大体行儀もいいかな。
The owlbear.
そうです。
Of course I'll have
あ、本
him. If he wants to come with me, that is. I'd have offered sooner, but everything was a blur after the battle. I thought he'd gone to roam free.
よかった。
Are you sure he'd want to join? I'm not exactly settled anywhere right now. It could be dangerous at times.
うん。まあね、知ってる仲だから大丈夫だよ。
All right then. It's settled. Oh, the things we'll get up to.
よかった。好意的に受け止められて。よかった。
Don't be a stranger.
よかった。よかった。受け入れてくれた。
Happy? Gonna get pets? Gonna play?
あ、臭い女ってさっき言ってたやろ
Gonna
が。
live with nice lady.
もう早速調教されてるな。
Yes. Miss this. More.
うん。いやもうシャドウハートちゃんに礼儀を叩き込まれそう。シャドウハちゃんなら大丈夫でしょ。
Well, now.
You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
まあちょっとね、はい。地獄流のファッションですけど、学ばせていただきました。
I'm glad the months have not been wasted. Particularly as I spent them cleaning up the mess we made of the city. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns overflowing. Huh.
おー、上層地域は再建不可能なほど破壊されたという話だ。結構きつくねえか？
The upper city has been almost entirely rebuilt.
ああ、そうなんだ。ほぼ
That's where the gold
羽さえあればって感じか。
Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at.
まあでもそれだけ街に余力があったんだ
Baldurians simply
ね。
get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, George, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you
まあ
understand.
後を継ぐんだ。
To organize the craftsmen.
後を継ぐというかなんていう
Though
か。
she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing 8 ones. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
うん。どんなことしてたの？
There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
うん。じゃあヘイラがバルターズゲートに家を見つけたようにね、私も家を見つけられたら良いのではって感じだね。まあちょっと色ぼけしてもいいんですよ。まあ実際二人で現れたしな。まあ旅の果てに何を得たかっていうとまあ4番かなって思うから4かな。荒涼たるアベルナスでカーラクと俺はお互いにとっての家だ。
Garlac is lucky to have you. And know that you are not forgotten. If your friends don't drag you from the hells, it will only be because you freed
そう
yourself
だね。
first.
別にアベルナスを対の住処にする気
There
はな
will
い。
be more to discuss on that matter. First, I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
いいねー。すごくいいね。さっきいたのにゲイル。トレッシム。あれだね。屋根の上で会って以来か？ゲイルがおらん。え？四年体かレイゼル。
A most welcome sight.
なんでこんなところに？アストラルの投影。
The Hell's Walker returns. For 2 months I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more I skewered Kithraki bellies.
すごい、めっちゃ
For
働いて
2
る。
more yet, I traveled through limbo. I never imagined we'd be standing toe to toe on this day, in this place. Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. But in spite of every strained word, every barbed glance, seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head.
まあ、つまりまた会えてよかったということだね。
It's nice to hear it. It's taken a dozen Gish's talents, a few stolen psi crystals,
あ、そうなん
and
だ。
2 10 days of effort to conjure my projection. Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This フェイラン。
フェルーンね。まあ、もうアストラル界でバリバリ働いてるんでしょうね。オラーキスを倒す計画は進んでるようだ。
We've spilled blood, gained a foothold in the astral,
すごい、も
but
う
still
やっ
we
てる。
need allies. And one beyond
計算
reckoning
外
has
の
made
味方。
itself known. Zerith Minyaragith.
誰？
Not a what, but a who. The immortal god king of
あ、
the
ギスゼライね。
an exiled
知
people.
識人系の
Once
ギ
king
ス
with
ヤン
mine,
キですね。
until the madness of civil war ripped our one sky into two. Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to Minyaragith through the cosmos. He's agreed to parley. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance.
まあ、そら、内乱が起きたら、ちゃちゃ入れるよな。
Sometimes. But I don't need the Githzerai to fight for us.
ああ、すごい。めちゃくちゃ成長したじゃん、レイゼル。
Minyaragith is an ascetic. He reached out in good faith.
そうなん
This
だ。
is his way. It is in this spirit that I must meet him. He is also a near deity. Should the Githzerai join us, we could topple the city of death in a red dragon's blink. Should they refuse, I carry on. Gravity pulls me in but one direction. I am the comet. I will not rest until I burn Vlakith's bones to ash and smash her phylactery to pieces. My people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insistent. All part and parcel of my undeniable charm.
いやー、すごい成長したね、レイゼル。私の方が外交官としては失格だったかもしれない。やっぱ頑張ってんだな。また会えるのはいつになる？
Soon. When the comet has risen.
そう
When
ね。
the Lich Queen has crumbled to dust. I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. I wouldn't even deny it with Vlakith's vorpal blade at my neck. Though, I'd rather it not come to that. Now go. Mingle a bit. That's the word, right? Mingle. I'll be back one day. The Overgod himself couldn't keep me away.
いいね。彗星になったんだね。もうちょっと真ん中に行きなよ。そこに行ってもあれじゃない？あ、カーラ。
Now there's a face I know well indeed.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. He wasn't kidding. Where's your mad bastard? You brought us back!
この世界が好きだもんね。
Fuck, we went! Ha! Oh, man, I can't wait to say hi to everyone. Look at them, the beauts. Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be all right for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first time in 6 months.
6ヶ月ぶり。
Then again, maybe we won't sleep at all.
そうだね。語り明かしたいよね。キスしてくれないかいけんのかよ。最高だな。
Me too, my love. See you soon.
楽しんでおいで。
Oh, hey. Before you go, I've been thinking
例
about
の
those
見つかった
blueprints
設
we
計
found.
図。
Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I'm sure she knows I'll want in. She'll do anything to stop me from fixing this thing.
なるほど。
I might have an in with one of the guards,
ああ、
though.
風呂ね。
You may remember my old friend Flo. Not sure she'll help us, but maybe. We might get to come home. Permanently. Maybe even sooner than we think.
いいね。希望のある話で。 あ、座った。
There you are.
おお、おしゃれだね。あ、でも、ゲイルやっぱこの服だよな。思った私も。この服の男だなって。
Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of
あ、
Blackstaff
先生にな
Academy.
ったんだ。
Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
いやーもう、再会に。イエーイ。あ、トレッシム。立派になって。
Well, that was quite lovely. I'm glad you're as pleased to see me as I am you. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my explosive former reputation. Seem to put the fear of the gods into them. Or the fear of Mystra, to be more specific.
まだ治ってないんだ。
surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as
あ、
I
差し
told
出したん
you
だ。
I would. And in
解放され
return,
たんだ。
she
めっちゃ
cured
いい
me
じゃ
of
ん。
the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a glass
な
room.
るほどね。
Too good,
脅し
if
てるわけ
anything.
だ。
I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
めっちゃ楽しそうじゃん。
Ah, so you still remember our little
あ、
lesson.
そういや、なんか授業したね。
It was at that moment, the weave connecting us, that I realized how much your friendship had come to mean to me. As it still does. You were, of course, indulging me in submitting to such a lesson. Teaching you was hardly an effort at all. Not like my present cohort of apprentices. Oh, they try their best, of course. And they can manage to stay awake.
Cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix, though.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
まあ、アベルヌスは興味深いところだ。俺たちは間違いなくあそこをめちゃくちゃにしてるようにしようかな。
I almost feel sorry for the devils in your path. I mean, I don't, of course. Sure, they deserve it. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps.
いい
I'm
ね。
sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Excellent. I knew you wouldn't be able to resist the allure of sharing your expertise. Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My
トレッ
apologies,
シムっ
tower.
てターラなんだ。
That
え、
would
タ
be
ーラなんだ。
our tower.
あ、これがターラなんだ。
It will give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale will
一晩じゃ
keep
足り
you
ないよ
tied to me
ね。
all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now. With time enough to come.
いや、てかターラの話が気になりすぎる。ターラって女の人だと思ってたけど、めっちゃ猫なんだね。なんなら鳩食ってたやん。シャカシャカシャカシャカ。かわいい。
Oh, right. You. Hello.
ゲイルの友人のターラか。
Yes, I'm certain it is. As for you, well, I've heard congratulations are in order. You helped Mr. Decarios save Baldur's Gate from the Absolute, isn't that right?
で、カリオスさんって何？
Well done. Despite my old friend's genius, he'd have blown himself up long ago if not for the help of friends like you and I. You ought to come visit myself and Gale when you're able, if you can extract yourself from what I'm sure are very important responsibilities.
ぜひそうしたい。
By pigeon when
後
we
で。
heard of you. I used to have a taste for them, but a great many things have changed in recent months.
食べ過ぎて飽きちゃったんじゃない？
Darling,
かわいい。あ、アスタくん。一人でどうしたの？あ、そっか、夜だからアスタくんも来れるんだね。
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And look at you. Straight from the hells, still reeking of brimstone. I take it you've been having fun.
アスタリン断りそうなんだが。イエーイ。
Understandable.
ダメ？
Try to resist the urge. I don't want to know what your clothes have been through since we last met. Although I do like the style. Tortured armor never does go out of fashion.
ご機嫌なの？まあご機嫌なの？
Cheeky. I've been very well behaved. Thank you. I've taken a turn as an adventurer and hero.
冒険者になったの？
It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it.
それを伝えられたらよかったが。よくわからん。殺す相手さえ間違えなければ人を殺しても誰も気にしないことが分かった。そしてどうやら俺はそれが得意みたいだ。
You know me oh so well, don't you? But yes, there's nothing wrong with being rewarded for good work. And when it comes to killing, I do very good work.
いや、マジで得意だって。一番 DPS 出てた説あるからな。あ、なんかちょっとシリアスな話ばっかりになっちゃったな。
I did at first, but then I realized these shadows, this darkness, it's all a part of me. I spent too long defined by what other people did to me, the choices other people made for me. But that's over now. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
いや、本当に良かったね。自分のことを受け入れることができて本当に良かったと思う。需要が似合ってるよ。
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. Someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time
調
together.
子者だな。
But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
そうだね。まあ、自分が選択して、自分の思う道を行けるようになったって感じで、かなり楽しんでるようですね。あ、すごい、フルーツ盛りだ。美味しそう。誰？ピーホース。ミンスク。何食べてるの？ブーだ。
Breathe deep, Pooh. The smell of heroes sings from every stone in this place. To meet again where your journey began, my friend. An honor. For Minsk and his hamster both. Oh, and for Happy also.
Yes, honored, of course.
無茶ぶり。会えてよかったミンスク、でも、それからハッピー
See how your very presence snatches the breath from his chest? And it is no wonder. It is just this day that Happy learned of your legend, while we gazed down upon the very city you saved.
He dangled me from the high hall, upside down, for 2 hours.
The guild should not go creeping in high places if they do not have the stomach for them, hmm? It is well for Happy the strange portal appeared when it did. Minsk's arm was growing achsome.
またギルドを追っているのか、和解したと思っていたのに。
So I have. Though it is a peace made more from blade and boot than it is any sense of brotherhood. 9 fingers forbade any looting of the Illithid's fleshy vessels. And so Minsk guards what remains of the battle site. Even from her. But where Minsk might once have thrown any sneaking scoundrels from the tower top, now I tell them of you. How you ruled the wickedness within. How they might do the same.
Yes, I'll rule it. I'll be better.
Oh, of course. It is still for Boo to decide if they live or
やば
die.
すぎる。
Oh gods.
But enough, my friend! I cannot tell your tale if I do not know the whole of it. Minsk and Boo would know where you have been, what you have done.
まあそうだね。カーラックと地獄に行ってましたよ。
Oh, Boo, do you know what it would mean? To find a cure for Karlak's heart? Exactly! Her heart would be cured! Oh, when this day comes, you must come and bunk with Minsk and Boo.
絶対行く。
We sleep in that sewer no longer. It is a different
下
sewer,
水道なのか
much
よ。
less damp beneath the bedroll. Now, Halfling, Boo will not have you embarrassing him in front of his friends. So you ought to know the rest of the company you keep. Will Ravengard, the Blade of Frontiers, Devil-Horned and Angel-Hearted. Lae'zel of Creshkiller, true child of Gith, and true friend to Boo.
マジ
Though she will and say it is not so. Astarion, who is banished by the sun itself for fear his Spanish soul might outshine it. We visit him much down in the dark places, though he often moves his lair without remembering to tell Minsk where.
逃げられてるやん。
The man who would be a god, but then thought better of it. Boo thinks better of him for it too. Shadowheart, 2 gods tugged at her soul, but she managed to keep it all for herself in the end. Wait, Boo, did she do something with her hair? Halsin, Archdruid of Arch somewhere. He is a much better man than he smells. And there, the champion of the Hells herself, Karlak Demon's Bane, Devil's Bane, Merkul Ball and Bane. Once the guild is made of goodness once more, Bull shall scratch the Hells wide open and find a way to bring her back. And finally, Jahira. If this is a name you do not already know, then not even Boo can save you. Study them well, sneak thief. For the best among them will be a guide for your guild. Heroes who put the city before themselves. Who never falter in their duty. And more than this, who never arrive to a party without even a gift for the host.
But wait!
Go, my friend. Be among our friends. There is much work yet to be done before this one is fit to join them.
手土産にするんか。 いいな、ミンスクの仲間表。チャオボロ。
Ah, my dear friend, it's been an age, has it not? You're looking very well indeed. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here.
おっちょこちょいなんだよな、
My
相変わらず。
invitation getting lost in the post.
どうせまた厄介事に巻き込まれたんだろ
Always, my friend. But the villain I must needs slay today is my greatest yet. A deadline. You won't be surprised to find I'm soon to publish a little holiday read about our adventures together. I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even bother with the release
ナチュ
form.
ラルに偽装しとる。
You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think?
まあいいんじゃないボーロそういうやつだしな。
Oh, that would be telling, wouldn't it? But believe you me, my friend, not a word could have been written without you. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write a form.
何にもすること
Or
ない
better
じゃん。
yet, I'll write a draft, and you can just sign your name. Better still, I'll sign it for you. Hmm? Ah, your success really has been wonderful for my reputation. But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've many friends to chat to, and I'd love to listen in.
本のネタにしてくれ。ハルシンとまだ話し、ウィルとも話してないか
Gods, I smell like a 70-year-old cinder. Withers yanked me from Avernus with my blade halfway through a Cambion's belly without so much as a chance at washing
強
up.
制送還だったんだね。
And from the smell of it, you're in the same condition.
そうです。
I'll forget all that. By the stars' light and the moon's glow, it's so good to see you. And I've got so much to tell you. The hell hunt's no mere duty. It's a thrill. The demons I've disintegrated, the devilkin I've bled, the stories I could share. I don't suppose you'd indulge me.
まあ全然あるよ。
Yes, but just the one, or I'll be yammering all night. You want to hear about the Amnitsu at the Styx, the three-tusked Orthon, or the invading Goristroy?
わかんない。まあオルソンが一番わかるかな、種族的には。
Word travels fast when a devil crosses the Delembir Vale near Daggerford. It had traveled a hell rift to a long-forsaken shrine. Luckily, the trail it scorched into the frontiers was hard to miss. It led to an isle of cracked rock in Avernus, floating amid a molten sea. The Orthon stood heaving, breath like brimstone and ash. And then it charged, splitting the ground with every thud so fast it left a trail of smoke. I could barely nick it, not with a blade, not with an eldritch blast. It was the war devil's weight that proved its own undoing.
なんだそれ。
The third charge it made, I struck the rock with scorching ray. The ground split apart the moment the beast stomped onto it. The Orthon slowly sunk, howling into the magma beneath. I let two of its tusks sink with it. The third, I sliced free and presented to the first Duke of Daggerford, a rare trophy to grace his walls.
いいね。もう全部気になるな。また共に旅をしたいと思っていた。一緒にいると楽しい。
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not,
まあ
to be
大変だった
clear,
もんね。
I can't imagine not having you at my side.
お前の父は誇りに思っているだろう。会いに行っているのか
I've seen him more than a few
何度もあっ
times,
た。
and
ああ、
he's
よ
as
かっ
proud
た
of me
ね。
as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the flaming fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's chosen primed the fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart.
なるほど、自分の中にあると。すごいいい話が聞けたな。みぞらどうしてるん？
She's kept me on a long leash, if you can believe it. Every target she's set me on's been a demonic intruder. Tenari assassins who slip into Avernus, Armonites that amass near the sticks. My next mark's the most challenging yet, or so she says.
デーモンではなく
But
デ
I
ビ
don't
ル。
know much more. Only
やば
that
いじ
it's
ゃ
no
ん。
demon, but a devil. She's playing a game. I don't know what it is or how she plans to win, but I can tell you this much. I'd fall on my own blade and join the blood war in an instant should
ザリエルな
Zariel's
んだ。ちょっと
hell-touched fingers stretch towards the coast. And as long as I'm more useful as a warlock, that's not a risk Mazora would take.
まあね、いつか一緒に戦うこともあるかもしれないね。
Go on. The night's young. You shouldn't waste a moment of it. Or waste a single drop of wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oops.
マジで
Half a bottle?
ハンド
I
マス
meant
はや
half
ば
a
いな。
dozen.
語り明かそうね。あルシン。
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now our paths cross once more.
自然の意図通りね。意図の通り。
Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can. For I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
抱きしめてほしいようだ。どのような距離も時間の経過もそれを衰えさせることはない。毎日心の中で旧友のことを思い焦がれるのだから間違いない。
I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place.
イエーイ。これなんだろう、好感度なのかな？好感度でハグできるできない決まんのかな？謎に高かったからな、ハルシン。
That was more than worth the wait.
毎回言ってほしい。まだまだ作れるだろう。もっとハルシン、プレッシャーをかけてくれるじゃないか。まあ、まだまだ全然ね、
Rest assured.
生きてる限り。
My arms shall be ready. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to
ね、
ramble
ハルシン
on.
のことも聞きた
I
い
am
よ。
eager to hear all you've been doing.
影に呪われた地に行ったのかなとか気になったんですけどね。
Please spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to
子
hear
供
all.
たち。へ
It is the
え。
children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
なんだろう、孤児院かなんかやってんのかな。まあ力になれるかやってみよう。
Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
ペテンするなよ。まあ普通にペラペラ喋りますか。
You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you. And should you wish to retell of your exploits in person, well, I shall not object to a night off. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
新しい集落を作ろうとしていたの。あ、そうなんだ。
Our community grows rapidly.
あ、それでそこの集落の子供たちって感じか。
A shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes. And the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
かなりの数の幼い子供たちを世話していると聞いた。寝馬車9台分。これが生きがいであり報いだ。
Those children have been through more than fate had any right to cast at them, and yet they go on as resilient as anything in nature. I impart what knowledge I can to them, yet, in truth, they teach me far more. The land we saved is theirs, and they will cherish it, I'm sure. Daniel and Oliver shall never want for friends again. You are welcome whenever you like, and for however long you please.
サニエルとオリバーについて教えてほしい。
Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many
あ、よくやっ
playmates
て
to
るみたい
avail
だ
of,
ね。
they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. I can see it in the land all around me. But more importantly, I see it in their faces whenever they visit. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods as far as I'm concerned.
今でもクマの姿でうろつくのが好きなのか。思っていた以上に落ち着いてるようだ。あ、まあそもそもの森はどう？
On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere.
まあもう
Francesca of the High Forest is Archdruid
ファー
now,
ストトレー
and
ドの
by
歌を
all
譲っちゃった
accounts,
んだもんね。
she has proven to be a steady and wise influence. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence.
よかったね。
Before you go, I have something for you. Just a
ああ、
little
嘘、
keepsake,
嬉し
really.
い。
Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite,
そう
but
そうそう、なんかカモ
I
作るの
thought
好
they
き
were
とかな
particularly
んとか言って
fitting
た
in
の。
this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
ふさわしいね。ありがと
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
う。素晴らしい。カモ。深き森の匂いがする。
Reunited with friends amidst nature. What more could I wish for?
I can eat a beholder. What's cooking?
冒険を終えるが出たな。うわー。あ、シナビの研究所みたいなのになってんだね、今。へー。すごっ。一度も見たことのない熱心な魂の書。バルターズゲート市民とその死亡を記した丁寧なリスト。バルターズゲートのための戦いで死んだ魂。町が必要とすれば戻る者もいるだろう。サブレン・オーロソ。ナンス・ディー。ベレリ・クイックフロント。この3人だけ？もっとおるんちゃう？バーラのバルターズゲートガイドサイン。シンクのインクで編集者の注釈が続く。この缶は驚くほど正確だ。だが黒竜門のデタラメはいただけない。あれは生きてなどいない。流浪のハグどもがどれほど言い張ろうと。地図は他の誰かに注文しろ。おお、標本がある。冒険が終わっちゃうね。シナビ。
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
地獄の生活から休みを取れてよかった。務めは果たしてないかな。結局自分のマインドフレアから解放される望みをただ叶えただけだからな。難しい。
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to a count. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
考えられる中で最高の友人たちにかな。
To you.
終わりました。全員救出。終わりよければすべてよし。 歌が入っちゃうから、多分感想とかがもし喋りたいことあったら別撮りになると思います。
Thou art the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.